Imagine a job where you work 12-hour days, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. Now imagine not having a choice in choosing this job. While unexplored, the issue of unpaid care work, or UCW, is largely prevalent in the modern world. Even with today's progressive society, the burden of UCW unfairly falls on women, with them accounting for 75% of all care work. This is mainly due to centuries of policies, workplace norms, media, and educational curricula that have reinforced the norm that unpaid care work is mostly women's and girls' responsibilities. Moreover, it is further supported by traditional notions of gender roles and masculinity. This inequality can clearly be seen throughout South Asia, with countries like Sri Lanka shouldering most of the responsibility. Further research conducted both locally and internationally highlights Sri Lanka's UCW and the women it impacts.
There are deeply entrenched social and cultural values and norms in Sri Lanka that prescribe care work for women. It is assumed and expected that women in particular would be undertaking household chores, taking care of the elderly, taking care of the children, at the expense and the cost of being able to work. If you look at the number of women in the labor market, in the labor force, in fact, only 36% labor force participation. And that implies that since care work, especially unpaid care work, tends to be proportionally on women, and they're not in the labor force, you can already deduce from that they are actually undergoing and undertaking unpaid care work.
But why is care equality important? The true impact of care equality is one that ripples out, eventually impacting society at a systematic level. Care equality at a family level contributes to gender equality within the household, giving children a progressive attitude, reducing domestic violence, and leading to a healthier and happier home environment. At a community level, it creates more equal relationships between men and women, while also improving childhood development and leading to improved sexual and reproductive outcomes. At a systematic level, care equality makes room for more women in the labor force and leadership positions and reduces overall violence against women.
There is clear evidence that greater female labor force participation rates that are equal to that of men would actually result in great economic returns as well as societal returns. OECD, for example, has estimated that if there were equal parity in labor force participation rates, you could see GDP growth of 12%.
Despite evidence of UCW being a major part in women's lives, the issue continues to lack proper attention. While often thought of as just housework, UCW can be categorized as real work. This work contributes a lot to each household, impacting each of their members positively. But how do we fight it? Inclusion of UCW in the UN Policy Agenda and Development Goals, along with what can be done to reduce and redistribute UCW.
In terms of policy changes, there are 5 R's that need to happen. The first is to recognize, to redistribute, and reduce unpaid care work, especially the burden on women, and then to reward care work, and finally to allow for representation of care workers, those that can collectively bargain and negotiate terms and conditions.